Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Professionals Unplugged. I am your host Utkarsh Shukla. Let me introduce you to my guest Bettina. Bettina, thank you so much for joining in.
Hello, thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Bettina. So let's start with our very basic question. So can you please introduce our audience about yourself, like who you are, what work you do, anything about you?
Yeah, of course I can. So my name is Bettina, as you already said. I'm 48 years old. I'm from Germany. I live in the UAE for now 13 years. I am married. I have 2 children, and I'm a mental fitness coach. So what is a mental fitness coach? So more people have heard now about life coaching. So this, even then, sometimes I get questioned, what is a life coach? So life coach is actually helping you to ask yourself questions which you not ask yourself normally. Yeah, so that provides with more clarity about your future targets, your goals, and it will help you to have this clarity to actually change your approach to life. And the moment you start to change your actions, your life is going to change. Yeah, so sometimes people are a little bit lost, they don't have enough clarity, and then life coaching is really, really good. But I don't call myself a life coach because I do more than that. I call myself a mental fitness coach because I feel the name mental health is so draining. It sounds like if you need a mental health, then you're sick. Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, it's just going in the gym. Yeah, that's why I like mental fitness better. You go in the gym not because you're sick, but because you want to get fit and because you want to prevent any form of diseases or anything which can actually harm you. And the same with mental fitness. So I actually embody a lot of different tools. I've already talked about life coaching, but I also do theta healing and hypnosis, which works with the subconscious mind. So we will go in the past. So life coaching goes from the now to the future, and it will help you in this area. Hypnosis and theta healing will go from the now in the past. Yeah, so then you have like the 360 degrees of where the issue can come from or how to tackle it and how to also get active. And before I worked in the corporate world. My last position was in a health center, and therefore I know a lot of healthy eating, how to have a lifestyle, how of sports and stuff. So I will also integrate this kind of information, not train you, but I will give you tips and tricks, of how to get actually better, in your body, in your mind, and in your soul. So I work with all three, and that's why when you completely say it, I'm a holistic bioenergetic mental fitness coach. It's very long. But it integrates everything, so to help people, to support them to feel better about life and about themselves.
So I have few questions regarding the same. As you mentioned, mental fitness coach is different from life coach. Okay, so when will someone comes to a mental fitness coach? Like you have mentioned, it's like going to the gym every day or like working on yourself, right? So when do you think is the right time for someone to come to a mental fitness coach, like to you or someone else? Like what is that right time, or when someone should consult you?
I really believe everybody should have a mental fitness coach. Okay. It's like everybody should go and do some sports. It doesn't have to be go in the gym. It doesn't have to be a mental fitness coach, but everybody should do something for their mental health. It's not a given, that you are mentally fit. It's just not. You are not mentally body fit if you never do any exercises. You will not be fit.
Correct.
And it's the same with your mental fitness. So if you don't, some people already have like habits and routines they do, but still if you have an external approach to look sometimes in a different perspective, you can always find something to learn about yourself, and to grow. And I really believe we are here on this planet to grow and evolve. And having a mental fitness coach, a life coach, or whatever you want to do, it's always helping you to grow personally, and I can recommend it actually for everybody.
That's really awesome. So you have also mentioned like for a life coach, there are few questions that we don't ask ourselves that we should have asked. So what are those questions?
Yeah, for example, sometimes we don't think of our lives in 360 degrees. Okay, so most of the time we focus on our work and then family, yeah, and that's about it. Yeah, but there are more to life than work and family.
Right.
Yeah, so they are in life coaching. You actually go. It's called the wheel of life. You go through different steps, it's like a wheel, and you have like cakes. So one is of course work, and one is career, yeah, which can be the same. Then you have friends. Friends are very important. Family, of course, is also important. Yeah, but what about your health? What is about your fun and recreation? How much fun do you have in life? Yeah, how often do you laugh? Yeah, it's very important. There's even Harvard studies that people who laugh a lot and have good connections with other people, they live the longest. It's not the one who ran on the treadmill every day. No, of course you need to also have healthy habit, but it's a lot about human connection. Then how much do you personally grow? So when we look into that field, so how much action are you doing actually on a monthly or weekly or even daily basis to grow yourself? There are people out there, they read every day in specific books to grow, and other people don't do anything to grow. Yeah, so they get stuck. Yeah, so their spirituality is also very important. If you have a religion and if you're really into your religion, this is already taken care of. But some people have a religion and they don't do it anymore, yeah, or they don't have anything. So, and out of personal experience, because I grew up as an atheist, having no spirituality in life is also not healthy. So there needs to be from everything a little bit, and you need to have an overview over your whole life and not focus only on the money and the career or the family. There's much more to life. So with a life coach, you will go in all these areas and check what's going on. Are you very satisfied? And what can you do to improve in these areas?
That's really awesome. I think with life coach and mental fitness coach, you will be able to explore the other side of your life, right? Where sometimes you might be missing that part of your life, right? Like as you mentioned, giving time to other tasks, how much time you laugh in a day, or are you doing something apart from your daily routine, like giving time to your family and your work, right? So that's a very interesting point. I think somehow everyone is getting indulged in their careers and their families so much that they have forgotten that there is another world existing outside of this circle that we have surrounded ourselves with. So I think that's a very interesting point to be made, right? You need to be aware of what's going on outside that circle that you have created, correct?
Exactly. And also sometimes you need to say bye-bye to people if they are more draining than uplifting. Yeah,
right,
it doesn't mean that when you have a friend who has a bad day that you say bye-bye. No. Yeah, it means that when you have a person or persons in your life and afterwards you always feel exhausted. By always, I mean not once, like always. Then you really have to think about, is this really the right kind of people I want to spend my free time with? Or do I change and go for people who are actually uplifting and supportive and more fun? Yeah, so it's all important. All our choices in our life are very important. And often we just choose without thinking because it's how it always was. Yeah, and we don't think about it. So having a life coach, mental fitness coach, it's really going into the depth and checking this out, and see why are you choosing what you're choosing, and often we don't even know. And then there's very much clarity comes along when we start knowing what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what we want to change, and actually what we want to keep. Most of the stuff we want to keep. Most of us are okay and happy. We're not sick, as I said in the beginning.
Yeah, we're not resistant to change. We don't want to change the things, and we wanted to carry on or hold them on our backs and carry forward rather than trying to make them better or finding a better solution to it, right?
Yeah.
So let's jump to our next question. So what is your dream right now?
Yeah, that was a very tricky question because I I actually live my dream. That sounds a little bit arrogant, but it's really true. and I really don't have so many dreams. Yes, of course, I have some goals which I want to do, but living or dreaming, I really live what I've always wanted. So I wanted to have a beautiful family. Beautiful family meant for me a partner as a husband, which is my best friend and support system, which I got, thanks God. Yeah. And then I have this beautiful kids and this beautiful in-laws, and my parents are still okay. We're all healthy. Money is fine. Yeah. So when I go through my life on the wheel of life, I personally grow almost not every day, I have to admit, but every month for sure. So I go on courses, I personally grow, I'm spiritual involved. I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I eat healthy. So when you look on my wheel of life, yes, are there ways to improve them? Yes, there always is some improvement possible. But I'm very, very grateful. And I don't have like, oh, I wish I want to be there or there. No, I actually wish where I am. I really like where I am right now. And I'm very grateful for what I have. Also, my friends and living in the UAE is so, prosperous. It's especially when you look at the news. And you live here in this country where everybody's preaching tolerance and acceptance and kindness. And then you watch the news. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. So something brought me here and I'm very happy about it. So I'm living my dream at the moment. And when it comes to goals, I really love helping people. I love my job very much. And I want to help more people. Yeah. Support them, find their dreams, their fulfillments, their happiness. That really makes me happy. Yeah. When I see that I could help a person. So that's about my dreams.
That is really very awesome. Like you are already living your dream life and trying to make better things that can be better, right? So
exactly.
Let's jump to our next question. So any story you want to share till now from your journey? I think it's a very great journey that you have come over till now. So any particular story or incident you like to share that can be insightful for our audience?
Yes, I thought about something to uplift people, and I went now for the topic relationships. So when I was 31 years old, because it was not always like that I always lived my dream life. Yeah, so it's not that it all came by chances and I was the lucky dude. No, it's not like that. Yeah, so you need to work on yourself. And even though at the time I wasn't a life coach and I had no clue really, but something I did right. Yeah, and when I was 31 years old, or even always when I was a child already, because the fear I had was rooted in my childhood. I had an aunt and she was never married and never had children. And I always felt she's so alone. And I always feared, oh my God, if I end up like her.
Right.
And it was a big fear, which I walked around with. And when I was 31 years old, my boyfriend broke up with me. Not because he was a bad guy. No, he just stopped loving me, which is okay, can happen. Yeah. But I was really devastated. I was so sad. And this fear, which was always with me, now really popped big, especially when you're a woman and you're 31 years old. You really, you think of getting married, you want to have children, and then this happened. So I was really in a dark hole, and then something profound happened, and I can just give this advice to everybody. So when I was facing the sadness, it was like a huge black hole of sadness and fear. There was this intuition which came along and said, look at it, don't run away. And then I did that. So I went really deep with myself. There was no life coaches at the time. As I said, I'm 48 right now. So it's a long time ago. So I really looked and asked, okay, so what's going to happen if this is going to happen? And you will not have a husband, not a family, and you will end up alone. What then? And I asked me all these very unpleasant questions we always want to run away from. And what are you gonna do? You wanna kill yourself or what? Yeah, is life then not living anymore? Is it not worthy anymore? And I was like, no, I love life. I don't want to kill myself. Yeah. So what then? You want to be sad and fearful the rest of your life? And I was like, no, not really. So I was like, okay. So but the moment I started asking this question, the fear already got smaller. Because when you look at fear, it's always more, it's not as bad as you think it is.
Right.
Yeah, most of the time you can go in there, it's not as bad. It's like in the movies, you know, if you cannot see the ghost, it's more scary. The moment you see the ghost, yeah, it's not that scary anymore. So it's the same. So you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, no, I love my life. I don't want to be sad all my life. So what you going to do with your life then? If this plan A is not going to work out, it's not in your control, Bettina. And I was like, okay, it's not in my control. What if it's not work out? And then there was this word, to work out. I was like, yes, but what if it's not going to work out? Yeah. So what then? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I started creating a plan B. Okay, I thought about, okay, what I'm going to do with my life. Yeah, and this is very personal. Everybody can create whatever they want. Yeah, so I created a plan B, like a life which was also worth living, which was also would make me happy, and fulfill and tick a lot of boxes. And the more I created and designed and visualized this life in my head, the smaller and smaller and smaller the fear got. I never said I wanted plan B then. I always wanted plan A, but plan A was not with attachments of fear and being desperate, okay? And it's very important also when you manifest. If you manifest with desperation and with fear, you're not gonna manifest. You need to manifest with happiness and joy and the belief that you will get it also. So when I did this and the fear and the desperation and everything vanished, yeah, believe it or not, 3 weeks later, I met my husband. Yeah, and we are married still. So I'm telling this story to actually uplift people. So if you change within, and I changed within, I did a deep dive inside. I changed myself, and then around the world was able to change with me. And then I met him, and it was exactly the right time and the right moment. So I want to give this as an advice and an inspiration to people. Yeah, if you don't get what you want, work with you, and you will see the outer world will change the moment you have changed yourself.
Right. I think I agree with this point. Like, we have this fear inside us, and that fear is totally based on imagination, right? Like you have mentioned, you have seen your aunt, so you were already imagining, like, what if I end up at this condition, right? So, and you just work on your imagination and make it a better thing in your imagination only, and then you end up like this. So I think it's all start from here, from your mind, like how you want to have yourself and how you are imagining yourself. And there is where as you mentioned, like mental training coach or mental fitness coach and life coach, these things comes into play. So you need a right direction, and that's what you have worked on yourself, and now you are helping other people on the same. So I think that is something very inspiring. Like, you have gone through your journey, and now you are helping people who you know. And most of us suffer from at this stage, at any point of our life, right? Everyone goes through this stage where you felt like, no, I'm going to end up badly, how the things will happen in the future, right? So that's a very important point I think you have just covered, and you have also justified the title of why mental training coach or life coach are important in our life, right?
Yeah, you're welcome. I hope this story inspires you and others a little, and it helps you that you can see and you can change your life. It will not change like from one moment to the other. The moment you change yourself, your life got to change. And if you need some support with a life, or you want to do it all by yourself, as you do, I actually prefer to go and have support. Also, we have the human connection, which I told before, it's so important and so healthy to have human connection. And to get support with that, and get some smart questions asked is, what's the harm with that? It's really, really helpful, very supportive, and it can really change your life.
Correct. I think that's the best point to end this interview, where you can take help from others as well of yourself. Depends upon you what path you prefer, but there is always a better solution to every problem. Right? So that's it from this interview, Bettina. So thank you so much for joining in and sharing your insights. It was a lovely experience talking to you and getting your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.